Hello, good people. Welcome back to yet a very special show of the Promise Show. And we have come back to the Insurance Regulatory Authority. Again, we have Ivan to continue from where we stopped last week. And this time, we can see we are still in the same premises. And we're going to go through some questions. So let him greet us. Today is dressed in very sky blue, very smart. So he can just say hi to us and tell us his position, what he does again at the regulators, and then we can move forward.
Thank you, Emmanuel, and hello viewers. I'm Ivan Kilameri. I work as a risk and actuarial manager at IRA. IRA is a government body. Our main mandate is to ensure protection of the interests of policyholders and policy beneficiaries. That's our main mandate. So we regulate the sector, the insurance sector, we supervise, we set standards for conduct, as well as receive complaints from the public regarding the sector. So issues of licensing are undertaken by the regulatory authority. We also advise government on insurance of national assets.
Okay.
So that's the main purpose of having a regulator like the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda.
Thank you so much, Ivan. Yes, we have already started the show, but as this time round, this session is going to be talking about what are the challenges that the regulator has seen over the years. We shall talk about what is the public perception of insurance as an industry and what is the regulator doing about it. We want to talk about the claims experience. What are the turnaround times? So that is our expectation. We shall have any other parting shots thereafter. For any other feedback that you may have for the regulator, please remember to post it down on our social media channels, YouTube, The Promise Show, and Twitter is also there. Name it. So let's go for a short break and then come back with all these responses. Thank you. Keep tuned. Yes, welcome back to this segment of this episode. And with me again, we have Ivan, who has already really given us a very good intro and background of what insurance is all about here in this country. So, Ivan, we want to know, have you had any challenges with our industry for the past 10 years? What have you encountered? And how have you managed to solve some of them?
Thank you, Emmanuel, for that question. Indeed, with the tremendous growth in the sector that we've seen over the last 10 years, we've also had certain challenges within the sector. And one of the challenges is around enforcement of the mandatory insurance covers. For instance, motor third party is a mandatory or compulsory cover for all motorists. However, the enforcement in the past has been low. And what we've done about that is to go digital. You can now, the only way you can get a motor third party sticker is through the digital channels. In the past, there was a manual system where you could walk to any outlet, but without the digital channel, now you can't access motor third party. So our solution to the challenge of law enforcement has been to go digital, and that has in a way solved the challenge.
Okay.
We've also had the challenge around the workers' compensation. The law on workers' compensation requires every employer to take out insurance protection for their employees. And in case of injury or death during their working time. However, we note that a number of employers have not taken out this workers' compensation. This remains a critical challenge within the sector and impacts on the uptake of insurance. What we've done is we've had a number of engagements and collaborations with the Ministry of Labor, and we've had what we call joint inspections in the different regions of the country, just to ensure that we check on compliance of these different employers in terms of taking up what we call the workers' compensation insurance. So that has been a key challenge that we are trying to address. I would not say now that it has been fully addressed, but efforts have been made to ensure that we improve on the compliance levels around the workers' compensation insurance. But we are not yet at 100% levels of compliance. But there's a lot that is going on. The third challenge that I see within the sector is the issue of fraud, insurance fraud. There is rampant fraud within the sector, especially driven by the policyholders. And this has increased the claims that are coming through, because once you intimate a claim, once you submit a claim to an insurance company, obviously they try to assess, is it genuine or isn't it genuine? And you find that fraud cases have also gone up. Some of the claims that are intimated by the policyholders are not genuine claims. And that's a key deterrent within the sector. It's a key challenge within the sector. What we've done as a regulator is to put in place an anti-fraud unit where we work with the CID to ensure that they investigate some of these suspected fraudulent cases. Because as fraud goes up, the claim experiences go up, and the cost of insurance also goes up, which is not so good for the sector. Okay. Because sector without fraud, then the cost of insurance would also be much lower. So that has also been a critical challenge within the sector, but efforts are underway. And we've already done setting up the anti-fraud unit, resourcing it, and they undertake investigations around these fraudulent cases. Also, the levels of digitalization within the sector a bit low. Although there could be improvements, and I know efforts are underway to ensure that the changes into digital platforms are also improved within the sector. We note that we are not saying the situation is very bad or worrying, but what we are trying to say is that it's not as at the level that we would have expected. Okay. But we've moved, and even for the regulator, the regulatory reporting software is something that we are working on to ensure that these reports, there is a tracking software that we have as a regulator. So these are different efforts that we are doing to address the different challenges affecting the sector. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ivan. You have really hit so many points that I think the viewer out there both the players and also the insurance clients will fully understand or appreciate. I wanted to ask just briefly on that element of digitalization and sensitization. I've seen many questions being forwarded by clients or prospects talking about the insurance training levy. Yes, I know it is for, you can speak about it. What is it for? People have already had seen that thing or insurance training levy, and they are saying, but we are not getting training. Is it this kind of training that we are receiving in this kind of forums or something else?
Yes, the training levy is a levy that is remitted to the insurance training college. The main purpose of that is to ensure that we improve on a key area where we've had certain challenges, especially on insurance professionals. In the past, when the trainings were being done outside the country, you find that there were few insurance qualified professionals. But now with the training levy, it goes into ensuring that members of the public are trained at a subsidized cost, because you find that the cost of undertaking either a certificate or a diploma in insurance costs in Uganda are much lower compared to the cost of doing the same qualifications, say for instance in the UK. So the training levy goes in a way in terms of subsidizing that particular cost for the public and for those within the insurance sector. So that has been the benefit of the training levy. And with it, a college is now fully functional. I would say a number of activities are undertaken by the college aimed at professionalizing the sector.
Okay. And
various trainings are done in several classes of insurance business. So that has been very key for the public, because ultimately the public would benefit if they are served by a professionally trained insurer as compared to one who does not have the professional qualifications. So that is the benefit that is derived from the insurance training levy.
Thank you so much. Ivan, you have led us actually to the next question, which is the public's perception of insurance over the last 10 years. And has anything changed, you think?
Thank you, Emmanuel. Indeed, given that the insurance sector is growing, I think that would be a positive indicator of improved perception of the sector. Because having revenue growing from about 200 billion to over 1 trillion shillings in 2021, that shows that the confidence and perception is improving. Okay. I will not say we are at 100%, but I would say that over time there has been an improvement in terms of the perception about the industry. And this has also been driven by some of the regulatory directives and changes. We issued what we call a claim settlement guidelines, which are standards which provide for standards for settling claims within the insurance sector. So there are different timelines that have been provided for settling claims. And these are service level standards that we check on as we do on-site visits to these insurance companies. So we ensure that legitimate claims that are fully supported by the pertinent documents are settled within the agreed time are honored by the insurance companies. Also, I would say that with the Complaints Bureau, we've received and resolved a number of complaints over the years regarding insurance-related disputes. And this has improved on the confidence that the public has around the insurance sector. Our directives are binding that we issue based on our rulings from the Complaints Bureau. The Complaints Bureau receives complaints and arbitrates or resolves these complaints at no cost to the public. Okay. So it's a better way of resolving any insurance complaints even before somebody thinks about going to court or any other dispute resolution mechanism. So these are key issues that we've handled in order to ensure that the perception and the public confidence improves. So I would say the key indicator would be the growth in the revenue generated is a key indicator of the improved perception about the sector.
Well. Thank you so much. I hope this helps the public out there to even rate us higher. I mean, the regulator has done a lot, and we have to give them credit. They have done so many activities. We have seen the Innovations Week. We have seen the Complaints Bureau is, I think, a committee, or it's a team of staff, but these are lawyers. I've seen some clients really reaching out saying they're going to sue an insurance company or sue someone for delaying to pay them. But you can't go now sue anywhere else before you engage the Complaints Bureau, which also has lawyer. It's the first tribunal. So until that case has been heard at the Complaints Bureau and really resolved at that level, or if it is not resolved, that's when I think you can go to court. Yes, true. But it has to start at the level of the regulator at the Complaints Bureau. Then they make the two parties meet, agree, make some guidelines, and usually it takes 2 weeks. Then if it goes longer, they push to another level. But at least there's confidence that there is someone who is going to hear you out and protect your interests. So this is a good point to take a break. Let's take a short break, and then please come back for the next segment, the last segment, and then we shall see how to move. Keep tuned.